most special day of the year is our birthday. And birthday gets with it a delicious birthday cake. But what if cakes were never so delicious and fluffy? Well, the fluffiness is all thanks to the yeast that helps it get spongy. But the yeast is just so tiny. And how can it help us so much? Well, there are several organisms tinier than yeast that help us to obtain many useful products. These little creatures are called microorganisms. Now, as the name says, micro means very small or microscopic structures, while organisms are living beings. Thus, those organisms which cannot be observed with naked eyes and require a microscope to be seen are the microorganisms. These tiny creatures come in various shapes, forms and structures. For studying them, a proper categorization is really necessary. Thus, we classify these microorganisms, simply referred to as microbes, in 4 major classes: bacteria, fungi, protozoa and algae. Let's get introduced to each. Let us begin with bacteria first. They are usually unicellular prokaryotic organisms. What do you mean by this? Unicellular, as the name suggests, are made up of single cell. So the entire body of the organism consists of just one cell? Yes, that is how it is. And what do we mean by prokaryotic? Well, the word arises from 2 Greek terms. The term pro means before, that refers to primitive form, whereas the term karyon means kernel or nut, and here it refers to a membrane-bound nucleus. So prokaryotic organisms are those which do not have a proper well-defined nucleus. As we can see here, in these organisms, the genetic material is randomly scattered in the cytoplasm. So when we say that the bacteria are unicellular prokaryotes, it means they have a single cell which is of a primitive type without a well-defined nucleus. Would studying them be simpler then? Not really. Bacteria, in spite of their unicellular and prokaryotic nature, come in diverse forms. They come in various shapes and sizes and are present almost everywhere around us. So how do we study so many types? It's simple. We classify them into categories. Based on the shapes, we classify them into 4 major groups. As we can see here, the spherical ones called coccus or plural cocci. Then these rod-shaped ones called the bacillus or plural bacilli. Then we have these comma-shaped bacteria called vibrio, plural vibrios. And lastly, we have these spiral-shaped ones called the spirillum or plural spirilla. There are numerous other ways of classifying the bacteria. However, we restrict ourselves to only this one simple type based on shapes. Now, where do you think these bacteria will be found? In isolated places or scattered at specific points? Will they be found only on land or only in water or both? Well, there is a single word which describes their presence, and that word is everywhere. Yes, there is no single place on this earth where you won't find bacteria. May it be the hot springs or the ice-cladded regions, may it be the salty Dead Sea or even the marshy lands. They are present everywhere. And let me tell you an amazing fact. Some of them are even present inside you. But don't worry, the ones inside you are like friends. They won't harm you in any way. Well, the various types of bacteria.
If a bread is left unused under warm and moist condition, it is attacked by fungus. Microorganisms spoil our food, and the spoiled food emit bad smell and has a bad taste, and which changes its color too. Any change which occur in a food item and which is unfit for human consumption is considered food spoilage. The process by which food is treated and handled to stop or slow down the food spoilage and loss of quality is called food preservation. Preservation usually involves preventing bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms from developing as well as reducing their growth. Food preservation is very important. It expands the supply of food and extend its shelf life. It also helps to cut down on food waste and minimize food spoilage and food poisoning. It prevents microbial contamination and kill pathogens. A number of food preservation techniques can be used to prevent, delay, or reduce the spoilage of food. So the first method of food preservation is the chemical methods. Salts and edible oils are common chemicals which are generally used to check the growth of microorganisms. So they are called preservatives. We add salt or acid preservatives to pickle to prevent the attack of microbes. Sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfite are common preservatives. These are also used in jams and squashes to check their spoilage. Preservation by salt is known as salting. Salting helps to preserve fruits for a long term. Meats and fishes can also be preserved by salting. Salting is also used to preserve amla, raw mangoes, tamarind, and other food items. Sugar is another common preservative that is used in jams and jellies. Sugar is a good moisture absorbent. By reducing the moisture content, it restricts the microbial growth. Jams, jellies, and squashes are preserved by sugar. Use of oil and vinegar also prevents spoilage of pickle because bacteria cannot live in such an environment. Vegetables, fruits, fish, and meats are often preserved by adding oil and vinegar. Smoking is another method of food preservation, which not only increases the shelf life of the food but also enhances the flavor. Smoking is the process of flavoring, cooking, and preserving food by exposing it to the smoke from burning wood. It is done at the commercial level as well as at the home level too. The wood smoke contains a large number of antimicrobial compounds that slow down the spoilage of animal fat. It helps to dehydrate the food and thus prevent the spoilage. Another method of food preservation is heat and cold treatments. You must have seen we boil the milk before it is used or stored. Boiling kills many microorganisms. Similarly, if we keep our food in the refrigerator, low temperature also inhibits the growth of microbes. Boiling and refrigeration prevent around 70% of microbial growth. So, boiling kills a microorganism that cannot tolerate extreme temperature and helps in food preservation. Refrigerators have low temperature, so microbes do not get optimum temperature they need for their growth and their growth is inhibited. Nowadays, milk is delivered in packets and this milk doesn't spoil quickly. So, if you notice, it is pasteurized milk. Pasteurized milk can be consumed without boiling as it is free from harmful microbes. In this method, the milk is heated to about 70 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 seconds and then suddenly chilled and stored. By doing so, it prevents the growth of microbes. This method was first discovered by Louis Pasteur. That's why it is known as pasteurization. Another method of food preservation is canning. Canning includes cooking food, sealing it in airtight containers, and then boiling the containers as a method to destroy or weaken any remaining bacteria. Meat, fish, fruits are preserved by canning. Many food products can have their shelf life extended by storing them at 4 degrees Celsius or below. Fresh fruits and vegetables, eggs, dairy products, and meats are all commonly refrigerated food. Freezing is an excellent way to preserve the nutrition value of food also. Another method of food preservation is dehydration. Dehydration is the process of removing moisture from food material in order to preserve them. It is the simplest method and prevents food spoilage by removing water. Removing water inhibits the growth of microorganisms. Dehydration is one of the oldest and most popularly used method. It is used to preserve fruits, vegetables, fish, and meat. Storage and packing also help to increase the shelf life of the food. These days, dry fruits and even vegetables are sold in sealed airtight packets to prevent the attack of microbes. So far, we have discussed different methods to increase the shelf life of the food and preserve